We always have money for war. Why don't we have money for people? I was born in Columbus at the Ohio State University Hospital, given up for adoption. I lived in a foster home and was adopted and raised on the east side of the city. And my family went through a lot early on, but it opened up opportunity for me to get financial aid to go to an elite college prep school, and kind of woke me up to how much your zip code, what school district you're born into, if your parents have money, can really dictate the outcomes of your life. And that just struck me as fundamentally unfair. I'm running on a platform that is a very bold agenda for what should be happening at the federal level to meet the needs of people living in the 3rd District. But really, the 3rd District isn't so unique. People are experiencing these issues all across the country. We have unchanged poverty rates in certain neighborhoods. We have formerly middle-class neighborhoods that have slowly deteriorated over the course of my lifetime and are now rampant with, gun violence. And it really, to me, is a reflection of the breakdown of community in the sense that people don't have better options. And so we need to have a huge injection of federal resources that are going to make sure that people have jobs that are paying enough to incentivize actually working them. We have an affordable housing crisis. Housing costs are increasing, particularly in metropolitan areas, and we've got to increase the amount of housing that's being built, particularly for those who are earning the lowest incomes. Universal income, universal child care, Medicare for all, and national rent stabilization, the Green New Deal. The climate crisis is a racial equity issue. Black people are going to be hurting the most from not addressing climate change, from an F air quality rating in Franklin County that is keeping kids out of school. Oh, Morgan, this is a radical agenda. How did we get to the place that making sure that everyone in the United States of America, one of the richest countries on the planet, making sure that everyone that lives here has a home and healthcare and a job that actually pays enough to live is radical? That is sad, and that has to change. So, I hear a lot, how are we going to pay for it? That's a common question. Right now, we spend a disproportionate amount of money on policing the world and entering endless wars. We also bailed out banks. We have corporate tax cuts. We need to start making those same prioritization decisions for us, for our communities, for our children, for our families. I don't see running on a more aggressive platform as somehow antithetical to being a good Democrat. Any attempts by the party to try to suppress different voices and new ideas from coming in, I really question, what is your motivation for being in politics if not to actually help people? I'm running now because people living in the 3rd District need help right now. We are in a crisis situation where we have people living in tents, where we have children that are in the shelter system. Shelters are actually at capacity. We have people that are working 2 or 3 jobs and still don't make enough money to cover their basic needs. It is very safely Democratic. The only way that voters can have a choice in a district like this is by another Democrat running. And I am running on a distinct, more progressive and bolder platform. So people who ask, why are you doing this? My question is kind of why not, right? Because we also see that we have about 10% voter turnout for this seat. 90% of the people that live in this district are not participating in the political process, and many of those same people are getting left behind by an economy that is not working for them. I've spent a lot of time in a lot of neighborhoods that make up the district, and I understand the people that are living there and feel a deep commitment to making sure that everyone that lives there is okay, is getting a fair shot, and I'm putting the work in. We're running an all grassroots campaign. We're not taking any corporate money, and what that means is that I spend my time not in, fancy rooms with financial executives. I'm actually hitting the streets, talking to voters, meeting them where they're at, and letting them know that we need them. You have really, really good people that are very hardworking, that want to be independent and stable, and they don't see any way out. And we're trying to let them know this is not your fault. This is a system that was built to keep you down, and there is something that we can do about it. But you've got to, work with us, and we're going to fight for you. And please believe, because we can change this, but we've got to all do it together. This is so cool to be, because I'm just used to seeing them online.
And now you're in it.
And now I'm in it. Okay.